I'm a full-time video editor handling 5 videos a week for some of the biggest YouTubers, which means editing fast while maintaining quality is very important. Here are the 10 editing cheat codes that I use that will make you 10 times faster. Premiere Pro released a new AI-powered feature that you probably haven't heard of yet, and I've been using this feature daily to save me time while finding footage. It allows you to search for exactly what you want, just by describing it. Like for example, a white dog, and it's super easy to find about which dog it is. So you just type in white dog, then you see all the dogs that are sort of white in this video, so you click here. And it goes directly to the point in the video, in your source, so even in the actual original file, where this shot is. But if you're like, okay, I want to find it inside my sequence, then you just click sequence. You have a white dog, okay, then you see all the days, but you see all the points where it's shown where this white dog is. Let's go to this one, and then I exactly know, okay, these dogs are meeting. But let's give another example. Maybe even go to golden retriever. Okay, yeah, then it recognizes what it is, and this looks similar to golden retriever. Of course, this is like a sort of a mixed up dog, so that's why it maybe can go wrong a little bit. Most of the first results are actually the golden retriever that basically is the face of the channel. This is so easy to use, and you can easily just find your footage. If your editing timeline looks like a war zone, chances are high that your brain might feel the same way. And it's because you're trying to multitask everything all at once. Cutting the video, doing the music, doing the sound effects, doing all the visual effects. And you'll end up spending multiple hours to do this, only to have the first 30 seconds of the video done. It's because humans aren't really wired to do multitasking. In reality, when you do this, you're actually just task switching, which makes you slow down. So try this instead. Separate every part of the process that I just named. So cutting, music, sound effects, and visual effects. You can do this in the order that you want. And the moment you start actually optimizing this, you will see that you don't have to focus on all kinds of things and just hyper focus on one will make you a lot faster. Just don't make sure that you don't mix anything together anymore. Have you ever noticed that some of the simplest tasks might take you a whole day to complete? That quick 20-minute cut turns into an hour. And before you know it, you haven't done anything and the day is over. You need to fix this. Because every task you do takes away your time and your energy. The longer something takes, the more resistance builds, and it becomes harder to start the next thing. You feel like you've been busy all day, but you haven't done anything meaningful. So what you need to do is to give yourself a time limit for certain tasks. So let's say you have a footage that's 20 minutes long. You give yourself 1 hour to complete that. And the reason is that you're actually going to become more decisive and you get more pressure on you. And for me, it works super well. I give myself time limits all the time. And for like 1 hour of footage, I usually take 2 hours just to make sure, okay, I can actually take a little bit of time, but there's also a lot of pressure. Because at the end of the day, if you have 1 hour of footage, it probably means that there's a lot of footage that just can be cut anyway. You don't have to put that much attention into. You do this the same with music. Let's say there's like 15 minutes of timeline and you give yourself an hour to do music. You give yourself an hour or two to do sound effects, and then 5 to 6 hours for visuals. I wouldn't say work for 6 hours straight on visuals, but let's say finishing the first 30 seconds of the intro in an hour, and then I can take a break. Just think about realistic deadlines for like your own projects to put pressure on it, make you more decisive, and actually get some pressure on you because no one is watching over you. You can just be sleeping or whatever the hell you want to do, but you need to have pressure so you can finish your project faster. Most editing softwares have just enough tools to make your video look fancy, but not enough tools to make yourself more productive. So start using the right plugins. And here are my top 5. One of the best ones is Premiere Composer. I use this all the time for all kinds of special effects. You have all these animated fonts, backgrounds, like even 3D titles they added in, and they even have stuff with social media, making it so much easier for you to actually get your visuals done. The go-to plugins for music and sound effects are Artlist and Epidemic in my opinion. This way you don't have to go on the internet and catch yourself doom scrolling on TikTok a couple of minutes later. Easify makes it easier to control your keyframes because the graph editor in Premiere Pro just sucks. Motion Ray makes it super easy for you to get these templates for Premiere Pro, motion graphics templates that you can adjust, and even stock footage. And this is what I used a lot in the past. And another one that you should use is the Film Effect Dashboard. It's a really new added feature to Premiere Pro, so if you don't have this, then please update your Premiere Pro. I know all of you cracked Premiere Pro. I did it in the past as well. But this way you can easily see the effects before applying them, which makes it super easy to use. Video editing is just about storytelling, because your job as a video editor is to effectively bring over the message of the creator to the viewer. And the way you do this is by finding the story. And you know what? Finding the story is sometimes the hardest part, but there is a story in every single video. This can take hours if you don't have the right systems in place, especially when the footage doesn't have an obvious plot in the footage. So the next time you're building a story, I want you to do these things. Always find segments. So think about it: day 1, day 2, day 3, challenge 1, challenge 2, challenge 3, maybe topic 1, topic 2, topic 3 in the talking head video. It's everywhere because that's what we like. We like to segment things. That's why there's chapters in books. It makes it super easy to understand because we can find easy openings and easy closes in those little chapters. And that's what I'm going to talk about next. Try to find the beginning, middle, and end of these little segments. You make sure that the viewer will know that it's actually finished, because finding it in 6 hours of footage, let's say, is super hard to do because there's so much information and you have to control a lot of it. So splitting it into little segments makes it super easy because all you have to do is then transfer from challenge 1 to challenge 2. And that's super easy to do because that's usually just a VO or a transitional line that you just have to find, and then boom, easily done. And this will also makes you a lot faster because you're not getting confused about how much footage there is and all of the different storylines that will be happening. Just keep it simple and just make short little stories, connect them together, and you'll see that your pacing and your story is just way better. But there's a new project coming in, you're super excited, you're sitting down for editing, and then you have to set up your whole project. Boring, right? Because finding the right music, organizing the files, and getting the assets that you might need, it just takes time. Sometimes even turns into chaos because there's so much to see. You cannot do anything with it because it needs to be organized. So that's why I want to eliminate part that takes so much time before editing. And that's just the setup. So what we're going to do is going to make an asset folder with all of your music, all of your sound effects, and all of your graphics. And hear me out. If you have multiple clients, this is an absolute cheat code because you can make separate template folders for separate clients. This way, you have all the assets that you might need all at your disposal. How do we do this? So yeah, this is the layout that we want to go for. We want to go for project is 01 because it'll always be at the top, and your project file is the most important thing to find back, because if you have to go back and do some revisions for the client, you need to open your project. So always most important to do that at 01. 02 is the footage, just the easiest way to drop it there. If you ever need to go in and see, okay, can I take some of the footage anymore? Boom. Audio number 3, because you probably have the most of that after the footage. Graphics and assets after that, and then the export, of course. You can have like an extra folder, let's say 06 extra, just for extra stuff, but this is all good to go. And like I said, you can theme this in the way that you want. If you want this to be a folder about just Mr. Beast stuff, do that, please. Okay, so footage will just be footage. Audio will be split up in multiple things. So music and sound effects. And then these will also be, let's say, Artlist and Epidemic, I use them a lot, and copyright free. Because the thing is, this is for a general template folder, because some clients don't have these subscriptions. What do we do next? You can actually add like little folders to this, like funny, happy, tense, sneaky, exciting, everything like that. You can just basically theme it in the way that you want. This will make it so much easier to do your sound design in the edit, because you just have to find the mood. And then you have songs that fit with it, and they're sort of branded by them. Like, the sort of viewers know what they can expect, which is great. So that's for music. Sound effects, you can do the same thing, where it's basically also like this, but most of the time, most creators don't really care. So you could just remove this. But what you can do here, you can have like memes, risers, impacts, hits, everything like that. You can just put them in here and then have them all labeled. It's very nice. Then graphics and assets. Always label the ones where it comes from, because again, they can be copyrighted. After Effects, of course, whenever you render stuff out of After Effects, and for your After Effects project file, just drop them in here. You can always also drop your project file into 01 project, but drop your renders in After Effects, like the specific folder. Will save you a lot of time finding it back if you need to. And then you have the export, of course, and the extra. And this will save you so many hours. If your edits feel like they take way more time than they should, it's probably not your skill, but it's your environment. And there have been studies by neuroscientists that actually prove this. People who are more satisfied by their physical environment will be more motivated and more productive. So first things first, if you have a messy environment, clean your room. Your mom will thank me. But that's not what I'm getting at here. We can take the same concept and put it into our editing software. Make sure that your layout is optimized for the kinds of videos that you work on. As you know, I work on these very big projects. I need a lot of sound design layers. I need a lot of music layers, like you see here. Things will get messy if I don't have a lot of space on the left here. That's why I use this layout. I have a small preview window because most of the time when I do graphics, I change it around a little bit. Make this bigger, make this smaller. But for the most part, I just need to know that my sound design is good. So I have to like layer all of these things. And then I don't have to look at the preview window as much until the end when I do visuals. So, and that's also sometimes multi-camera, all of that kind of things will make it so much easier if I use it this way. But let's say you do shorts. Then Premiere Pro has their own vertical layout, which flips everything around, puts them into this, where your whole layout gets really big here. Makes your timeline smaller, which makes it so much easier for short form editors to actually see what they're doing. You have all these kinds of layouts as well here, but make your own. make them optimized for you. Are you using a lot of sound design and a lot of music layers? Try my layout out, where like it's a big layout on the left and then smaller preview window and then the effects on top. So one of the standard ones is this one. And like a lot of editors I know that work for the biggest channels, and they use this. They have like the source window up here, so it's like different. And this works as well. It's just finding your layout that fits your style and really think about, okay, what is most important to me? And for me, it's sound design. And I work with a lot of cameras, so I need to see a lot of my timeline, while others might don't. So figure it out and stick with it. Maybe find different layouts for different parts of the edit. It can very much work for you. Have you ever spent more time looking for the right music track than actually editing the video? Music is one of the most powerful tools in the edit. But before I knew what I'm about to tell you, I spent so much time choosing the perfect music. I was searching through thousands of music options, and for some reason, none of them felt right. And I was just stuck overanalyzing all the music tracks. And I was just spending more time previewing them than actually applying them. So let's go into Premiere Pro and I will show you how you can find the music tracks super fast. For this example, I'm going to use Artlist. And because it's my favorite, please sponsor me, Artlist. This is no sponsor, by the way. But what I always do, I don't care about genre unless the actual sort of client tells me this genre is what I like, this is all I want to do. But most of the time, I don't care. We're in moods. And the best thing that you can do is figure out, okay, what kind of things we need to know. So let's find a sort of old school, funny gaming video where everything is sneaky. It's sort of comedic still.
Oh. Are you serious? It was open? We just broke into this house.
Wait.
What should we feel? We should feel that it's funny. We should feel that it's mysterious, maybe even playful. Well, this is just a classic. Like, it's all the same style of music. Okay, now let's just figure like things out. Let's go crazy with it a little bit. Let's see. We go to moods. Let's find a like investigation song where like it's very serious. It's sort of still mysterious and it's kind of tense. Let's see. Yeah, it's very, very tensey. Just like when we're in the desert, then we're doing these like sneaky deals. That's what we need to do here. Okay, so let's do one more and then just prove this point. Let's say we want to do a feel-good moment. The story is finished. We're super happy. So we're happy. We're carefree because the things are over. We maybe make it epic, like the ending of the video. Perfect. This is like the perfect ending to a video. Perfect. You see? Just look at the moods. And if you want to go an extra step and just say, okay, I know that this genre that they used in this type of video is classical or is rock or electronic. Add that in. Makes it even easier. But always start with moods. If your sound effects take way longer than it should, probably not your speed, it's your focus. So like I said before, most editors try to juggle music, sound effects, visual effects all at once. And you already know that you shouldn't be doing that. But another tip to make your sound effects a lot faster is by doing it while all the other audio is off. It will make you focus way more on what's actually in the video. Which of these would be easier to sound design?
I was just testing.
Yeah. I would be nervous. Okay.
I think
Perfect. And now this one.
I was just testing.
Yeah. I would be nervous. Okay.
I think
So the difference what you see here, there is distracting music, which maybe removes the effects of like, okay, he's walking up here. We can add extra like little bumps to like grass or whatever. Like the graphic shows up here. We might be maybe even forgetting about. But then the biggest thing here is like, okay, we hear an impact here. And it matches perfectly the save, which that's what it's meant to be. But the moment like this happens, you're not thinking of like, okay, I can add a sound effects to like her saving the goal or shooting. Those little sound effects are very necessary, but you might forget them because the music sounds so well timed. So if you add in the music things that like the sound effects that I've added in quickly, there's a little riser coming in, which you already have in the music, so you might forget about it. Then there's of course the There's like a little sound effects for the save. There's a hit for like the shot. All of these little things. And the moment everything is silence, even maybe removing the audio of them talking, makes it so much easier to be way more aware of like what are the little details that I can add in. That makes your sound design go to all the way to sicko mode and makes it so your video sounds way better at the end. The fastest editors aren't just good in their software. They're clear on what they're gonna do before they even touch the timeline. This helps us identify the tone, pacing, and humor style the audience connects with. But if you don't research beforehand, you're gonna miss out on this very important step, which makes sure that you actually create the video for the audience and not just for you or whatever you felt like on that day. And this will also make you a lot faster because you don't have to think about, is this actually funny for the viewer? Is this actually the right music? Or are these even the right graphics that I'm using? Because at the end of the day, if you did your research well, they should all be very clear to you. And on the other hand, if you don't do this, then there might be chances where, okay, you did the half of the project and then you're like, oh snap, this is for this kind of audience. Okay. And then you have to redo the half of the project again, or you get a ton of revisions that makes you redo the project. Be aware of this and just make sure you do your prep. And if you want a little help, this is how I do it. I ask the creator for any advice that he might have to see, okay, what kind of people are watching my videos, who does the creator want to target, and what has been working so far on the channel. These are very important questions to ask your creator, and the creator will love the fact that you're putting more attention into the videos. So don't be scared and don't be hesitant to ask them. The other thing that you can do, either ask if there's a reference video or just find one yourself, or find one that's like sort of the biggest into the niche and figure out, okay, why is this working? And just copy some of the visuals, copy some of the sound design. Just make sure that you don't steal it, put your own flavor on it, and then make it better even. That way, you know, okay, if the same audience watches this content, probably likes mine edits as well. So just find the assets that people are comfortable with and love to see. So if you have done this, then your viewer would love to see your videos, and they will get very connected to the channel you're working for, which at the end of the day, your creator will reward you for that. And yeah, we're all the way at the end, so you know how to edit 10 times faster. So please subscribe if you think this was very useful, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you for watching.